Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Rainer and this is Rainier Books. I speak about books on this channel, I make reviews, I make top 10 lists and other stuff. Today I want to talk about a readathon that a couple of booktubers, 4 booktubers are hosting. Book Time with Elvis, Scally-Dandling about the books, Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, and The Rambling Raconteur. They're all linked down below, and the initial video by Book Time with Elvis is linked down below. This is about the 9th Women's World Cup of soccer and football in New Zealand and Australia that will start next week, I think on Friday. Most of the teams have already arrived in Australia and in New Zealand. The Swedish team plays in New Zealand their first 3 games. Germany, my other country, plays their first 3 games in Australia. So, all people who are interested in this readathon, I want to talk a little bit about this readathon to promote it, because I'm a women's soccer guy. I have been following women's soccer since 2005. I have written about it, I have blogs. I had a blog in German, then I had a blog in Swedish, and I do interviews on another YouTube channel with players on Zoom and on other occasions once I meet them in the arenas here in Sweden most often. There will be 8 groups with 4 teams each in Australia and New Zealand. So we have 32 teams. Directly qualified were, of course, the hosts, Australia and New Zealand. All people who were interested in this readathon, they were drawn together with a participating country. That means that you get a country assigned in this readathon. My country is France. I come back to that. The countries in the World Cup represent all 6 federations, all 6 member associations of FIFA, the World Soccer Association. We have the smallest is the Oceania Football Confederation, with New Zealand as their only participant. Australia is not part of this. Australia became an Asian country in 2006 because Australia decided to join the Asian Federation in 2006 and plays with countries like China and South Korea and Japan. The association with the most participants in the World Cup, with these 32 teams, is Europe, that is represented by 12 of its countries. Not actually countries, because England is a country in football. That is strange, isn't it? We have England, Northern Ireland, Wales and Scotland as countries in football, and only England qualified of these 4 for the tournament. The title holders of the Women's World Cup are the United States. The United States have won the Women's World Cup. This is the 9th edition, so we had 8 already, and the United States have won 4 times, in 1991, in 1999, in 2015 and in 2019. Germany has 2 titles, and Japan and Norway have 1 each. The rules of the readathon are simple. You get a country and read something from your country, in my case France. Not necessarily a novel. You can read a short story, you can read a poem, you can read a couple of poems, you can read a play, or you can read even, I guess, a good piece of journalism from that country. So I got France together with Hannah and Camilla Astayer Books. And since we are number 5, let's speak of French now, the French of France. There's a world ranking, a Coca-Cola world ranking in football, and France is number 5 in the world, and our chances are quite good to reach the quarterfinals. But I have to say, France was always, in the last 15 years at least, since 2011, a very promising country in the Women's World Cup, but also in the Euros, also in the Olympic Games. In the last 15 years, they were a favorite almost every time, but they never succeeded in the tournaments. However, in spring, the federation kicked out their coach, Corinne Diacre, because some players said, if Diacre is coaching the team at the World Cup, we're not going to play there, okay? And she was accused by players, allegedly, of having very authoritarian leadership. And she was replaced now because the federation wanted stars like Vandy Renard, stars like Amandine Henry, like Kadi Diatou Diani and Marie-Antoinette Katoto to play. Going to the literature, with French literature, it's sometimes difficult to say, is this French literature or is this something else? Because the French had so many colonies and there's so much immigration, but also so much moving back and forth to France So you never know if it's really French literature, is it Senegalese, it's Moroccan, Tunisian, Côte d'Ivoire, or whatever. I have, for example, one book that I can read this is Mohammed Mbougar Sarr's The Most Secret History of Man. This is the German edition, Die geheimste Erinnerung der Menschen, because the English edition will be published first in September. This book won the Prix Goncourt, which is the French version of the Booker Prize, basically in 2021. It's a great book by a Senegalese author, plays in France. Mbougar Sarr lives in France, but also in Senegal, so I think it's both French and Senegalese literature. So this is the Women's World Cup Readathon. It works like that. You read, I read France, because I was assigned France. France was drawn for me, and when France plays, I think France plays Panama, Brazil and Jamaica in Group F. And if they sort of win their 3 games, or if they draw their first games, I don't have to read anything else, any more books. If they lose against Brazil, because Brazil is the most toughest opponent that we have in that group, in Group F, if we lose against Brazil, I would have to pick a Brazilian piece of literature to continue with. But I'm quite confident that France is going to make it. If they go to the round of the last 16, the French, they will meet the winner or the runner-up in Group H. And that could be, or should be, Germany, of course, number 2 in the world, Colombia or South Korea, I guess. And I would say probably Colombia. That is my hunch here. I don't know. South Korea has a good chance. I don't think that Morocco will be, although Morocco is the African champions and they did great in the African Championship last year. So we don't know. Maybe they beat South Korea. So it will be a very interesting tournament, and it will be a very interesting readathon. And do it. I think you can still be part of it. Go to the hosts of the World Cup Readathon and join us. There's a huge group of people. Book Time with Elvis, Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, The Rambling Raconteur, and Skelly Dangling About the Books. They also set up a Discord server where all of us can meet. And if you haven't been on Discord before, it's a playing platform. It's an app that you can install on your computer. It's free, and it's a great way to communicate, not only for gamers, but also for people who love books. There are many channels, many servers on Discord, which is absolutely for free, where you can join communities. And we are in that community, the World Cup Readathon. And I can announce my next video. That was very short. I can announce my next video already, which will be the top 10 books around women's soccer that you might read when you join the Readathon. Or if you're not joining the Readathon, but say, well, women's soccer is so interesting, then I have another top 10 list, which is coming right after this. But I see you very soon, so bye.